Hey y'all.
Hey everybody. So tonight we have Notes to a Black Girl again, and this is episode 2. And tonight we have Kimberly Carver, also known as the Kimbers on Instagram, and she's amazing. So I am going to let you introduce yourself because I just believe in people like bigging themselves up because I don't want to miss anything because y'all are amazing. I want to make sure we get all the correct information in here. So I'm gonna let you go
You're
ahead.
so awesome, Dina. I'm amazing. You're part of the reason why I even feel amazing. So I am the Kimbers. I blog at thekimbers.com. I podcast as K&P Presents with my sister, Portia. She actually made this shirt. B is for Black Lives Matter. Get that. Well, y'all probably can't get that, but y'all get it for y'all kids at Lit Kids. This shirt was a big kid shirt so that I could fit it. I'm also a writer for the Austin Socialite. And that is an organization that specifies things happening right here in Austin. So I'll have a new article out probably by the end of this week. It's about how to spice up your sex life. So, and I interviewed one of the dopest people, I think, to talk to about this from Urban Play. She's super duper dope, and take heed to those tips. I'm a mommy of 2. Y'all probably hear me in the background. I tried to put the AirPods on to cancel out the background noise, but they're loud. Peyton is actually going to be 4 in 9 days. 9 days. She'll be 4. Dylan just turned 2. My lover, their dad is in there being a awesome dad. Their grandpa just messaged me, said he left a package at the door for the children. Shout out, grandpa. This week has been a really interesting week. I just decided to study to become a QA developer for Apple. Oh. That's who I work for. I also go to HT. I'm a student at HT. I'll be completing my associates next month. Okay. So, and I'm going to school for my bachelor's for business administration. I do a lot. It's a lot when I say it. Like
you do a lot. I know you like. Okay, I got a lot of stuff going on.
Right and I try to do yogas on Saturday with my Rose. But I'm honored and humbled that you asked of me to do this because I just recently wrote a blog dedicated to Black women, and just because I feel like we just get so much, like we just can't get a break sometimes, I swear. And, with Breonna Taylor, her murder still not being brought to justice. We just had the 5-year anniversary of Sandra Bland murder. We're going to call it what it is. Right. And my condolences to the Vanessa Gillian. I think I'm saying it right. I actually wrote about her as well. It's heavy right now. Like, aside from COVID, just being a Black woman, I really do feel like we get overlooked for a lot of what we do. And I think a lot of it is because of who we are. Like, we're looked at as strength. And because we're looked at that way, we take on a lot more than what we need to be. I don't to say that. So that was I felt like I needed to let all of us know, like, just who we really are. Like, we're not what the media says. We're not what anybody paints us as. We're everything amazing. We are the beginning and the end. And I don't think there's anything better than being a Black woman.
Yeah, thank you. So amazing. And so I think maybe it was yesterday or the day before, since we're speaking about Black women and, you're a mom to a Black girl. And we have both posted about the 15-year-old girl that was on probation and her teacher decided to make it known that she did not finish homework. And I was like, so now she is back in a residential treatment facility. And it caught me because I used to work in that area. That's what I did at the Child Protection service worker. So, and I had been to that place that she's been, the Children's Village, and I was just like, this is one of 100 other stories that I've seen. But you are a mother. So I just wanted to get, like, when you did read that, and I don't know if you maybe had conversation or just your own thoughts about it, like, what is your take on this situation?
I am it takes a lot out of you to read that kind of stuff as a mom, because you try to do everything in your power to rear your child away from the whole the school to prison pipeline that's already set up for them. Mm-hmm. So when you read that, it really broke my heart, because I'm like, it's like they're just piling it on this baby, and then it's like they want to antagonize her, and they want to embarrass her to make her feel bad, and it broke me down a little bit. It was kind of one of those things when I read it. I remember when I shared it, I was like, if the right people read this, they're going to be triggered by this as well. And that's really what it was. It was a triggering thing. I don't know what else to do to fix the system the way that it's geared toward bringing down our boys and our girls, especially our girls. I will say big ups to Measure and the organizations that they're doing right now, because the adultification of Black girls is real. It's really real. It's in that situation right there that was magnified in that status. So it like I said, it kind of broke me down, and it makes it. I looked at my baby, and I'm just like, God, just let me be here and be able to guide her the best that I can, because that couldn't be her. Like, I would have tore some stuff up if that was my baby.
Exactly. Yeah. Are there any conversations that, if you don't mind, like giving a piece of that here, that you have with your young girl that you about? Okay. Do you mind sharing a little bit of that? Not to get like too.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. No, I blog. I'm an open book. For my baby, I try not to feed the negative to her. Okay. So what I am really big on is like affirmations. Every single day we celebrate her hair, we celebrate her skin color, we celebrate how articulate she is, we celebrate every little thing that she does. And I want her to feel that, because I feel like if she feels it at home first, then regardless if she gets it from anywhere else, she knows where her core is and where her foundation is, she'll get it here. So like this morning, we were reading a book, I think it's called Destined to Be Greatness. It was in our little Lit Kids box. And they have a little affirmation on it. And, so this morning I was like, Tina, I want you to say, I am great. I am great. She'll repeat everything after me. And it's because I really do want to build her up. I want to build her up, because I feel like when she gets out into the world to where I can't protect her like I am now, they're going to tear her down. So speaking life into my children, especially, like my daughter, it's really big, because she'll be 4. And, she is still a baby. But I figured if you don't start now and start early, they may be too far gone to even want to hear or listen to, their parent. And I also allow her to tell me how she feels. I think that's a big thing. It's a conversation. It's never a dictatorship. It's how do you feel and what do you think? I think that's a lost art, having a daughter-mother relationship, that, you can't just tell her what to do. You have to listen to her and let her tell you how she feels and what that may make her feel like. So that's something that I'm really big on with my baby.
Okay. Would you say there's like a big difference in how you were raised with Black women, and then how you're trying to bring up your daughter as far as like more conversation, giving her choices? Because, in Black families, it's like, you don't have many choices. Like, you gonna do it or you're not doing nothing.
You do what I tell you to do.
Right.
100%. Yeah. Like I said, like my baby and my mom, she was 31 or 2 when she had me. So, and I'm the baby. So she had 2 girls prior to me, and we're spaced out kind of big. So I'm my oldest sister. She just celebrated her 47th birthday. Then we have a sister in the middle of us. With me, they always say like they were the test dummies, and so she got it right with me. Mm-hmm. But I feel like even then, like I didn't have conversations with my mom where I could really tell her how I felt, or that she even really asked how I felt, unless it was just something major that she couldn't shake. Yeah. We didn't really have like those real heart-to-heart things. I can't think of a time where she asked, hey, Kim, how did you feel about that when I told you this? I can't think about a time in my adolescence that we had those kind of conversations. And I'm trying to fix that because I feel like that's why we didn't get close again, like really close until I was older. Like that's when I really was like, okay, my mama really is my best friend. Like she really do cut for me. But growing up, I didn't feel that way about it. So I'm trying to change that with Peyton.
Yeah, that's so good. I'm glad that doing the affirmations each morning, like, that's amazing. So you work at Apple, and we were kind of like, before people that came in, we were kind of talking about a little, but I want you to go into more about your work and also you being a Black woman writer, and your blog is amazing. I love reading.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just want you to talk a little bit about that and like what got you into doing the writing and everything, because it's amazing. Like, I love your writing.
Thank you. That means everything to me, man. Thank you, baby. So with Apple, I do tech. I am. I've done tech majority of my adult life.
Okay.
I've either done tech or finance. It's something along that. But Apple happened at a really good time. Like I couldn't even. It was divine. I originally started working for Apple when the very first iPhone came out, when Steve Jobs was still alive, everything, and I was on as a contractor. So my contract ended. That's when I went and did a couple other things. But when I started, it was 3 years ago on Peyton's birthday. So I'm getting ready to celebrate my 3rd anniversary on my baby's birthday. And I started just doing technical support, and now I'm studying to become a QA developer. And I got that position because of our. I got that. I am create. That position was created, or this was created amongst a group that we've had called Black at Apple. And what we try to do is, if we see different jobs out there for people, especially if you're already there, like internally, we get on it because we need as many Black people to move up and around so that we're seen. And the QA developer thing literally fell in my lap. Like somebody literally just reached out to me and was like, I think you'd like this. And I was like, all right, let's see. And that was Monday. And right before we got on, I was in the midst of getting everything taken care of with that. So that's happened. Writing. I have written for as long as I can remember. I had a very vivid imagination as a child, because I was the baby, and so nobody played with me. And so I started writing more recently after I filed for divorce. And it was because in the midst of my pregnancy with Peyton, I lost my grandmother the month before. My grandmother died June 18th. I gave birth to Peyton July 24th. And my grandmother was everything to me, you know. And so I went through a really intense case of postpartum depression, and I didn't know that's what it was because nobody in my family ever had it. Nobody ever talks about it. It's not something we've ever discussed. Mm-hmm. And it was at my 6 weeks checkup was when she kind of was like, Kim, I feel like you may not be having the baby blues. I think you may actually be teetering between postpartum depression and anxiety. We'll check back in a few more weeks, let me know how you feel. In that time, I started writing to Peyton. I was writing her letters, and I was letting her know, you know, Mommy feels this way today, and da-da-da-da-da-da. So fast forward, Peyton, 6 months, I filed for divorce from her father, and it was just such a headache. Like, it wasn't a surprise divorce. I literally told him I was going to file. I just was like, hey, if you could just go ahead and sign everything, we can get on, you know, you do you, just be a dad or whatever. And it just was like, I filed for divorce in February. My divorce wasn't finalized until December. I was pregnant with Dylan by that time.
Oh, my God.
That's the process of it. And I did it all on my own. Like, I filed it. I did everything by myself. So when I was going through that, I got into more intense therapy. And the therapist that I had, she told me, she was like, you, as a Black woman, like, you really need to, you know, let your story be heard, because a lot of Black women go through postpartum and they don't know that they're in postpartum. They don't she's like, I'm not trying to be funny, but in the Black community, there are a lot of mental illnesses that just go untaken care of. And so I was like, well, I'm not funny about it in my business. Like, that's something, look, they don't have to go do the research like I did. That was my original thought. Right. But then I looked back at all the stuff that I had already been writing. Mm-hmm. And my good girlfriend, Erica Emery, She works in tech as well. And she told me, she's like, I will help you build a website if you want to blog. I think you should do it. And I was like, you sure? She was like, yeah. I was like, people don't even pay attention to blogs unless you're talking about somebody being cheating on a girl.
Right,
I don't want all that. Yeah, like I don't want all that. And I went ahead and I was just like, you know what? If it helps one person, I've done something right. And so I remember my very first blog post. I went to middle school with, found me on Facebook and was like, hey, I read your blog. And I'm like, how did you even find it? But she was like, she said I was looking up postpartum. And when I typed that in, your blog came up. And I was like, okay. And so me and her talked, and I got her into there's a group meeting. There was a group that was meeting at Seton, and it was free for mothers that were going through postpartum. I got her involved in that. Just a lot of little stuff, a lot of things that she didn't know. I joined Mama Sana Vibrant Woman. I actually joined while Peyton was about 7 months. Because I wanted to be a doula. Still going to be a doula. To add on to everything else I got going on. And it's just, I just kept going. And I do have to stick it out because there are some times where I'm just like, I don't want to write or I don't want to be too expressive. But I'm like, no, I'm going to go ahead because this is how I get it out. And that writing is a release in a way that I can't even express. Like it feels good to get out your feelings. Sometimes you don't want a response. You just want to get it out. Mm-hmm. And that's what writing is for me. It's like, I get it out. I end up getting people that are like, oh my God, I didn't even know that. And what did you take? And what did your doctor say? And it's like, all right, so people... I'm helping someone. So it's like, I feel like I'm doing what I set out to do.
That's amazing. Yeah. Y'all should go look up her blog because it's amazing and it has something for everybody. It really is.
It almost turned into a Peyton blog at a point in time. I had to kind of like pull back, like, okay, Kim, you're still in this. So, but it's just a journey through life because I have found that we all go through a lot. And we think we're the only ones going through. We think nobody else understands what we're going through. And we think that, if we're going through it, that we can't talk about it because nobody will understand. Yeah. And that's why I blog, because I want whoever that person is, they come across my blog, they're like, okay, oh shit, okay. It's not just me. I'm not going crazy.
Right.
So that was my big reason for doing it. That's why I keep doing it.
Yes, thank you. I just think it's really amazing that you do the writing, like the relationship you develop with your daughter and continue to develop with her. When it came to the protests and everything, you actually took your kids.
I did.
So how was that experience?
So, okay, I'll say this. Prior to me having children, I actually took my oldest niece. I took her to the very first Black Lives Matter protest we had here in Austin. And this was about maybe 7 or 8 years ago. We met at the MLK statue at UT. And I got her registered to vote and everything. And I had my nephew. Happy birthday to my nephew today. His birthday. He's 17. I took them with me. And I wanted them to see what was happening and why people were doing it, because it's different when you hear us talk about it, but then when you see a whole lot of people, it's like it really catches your attention. So with Peyton, the very first march I took her to was a women's march, and she was 7-8 months. Yeah. Of course, she didn't know what was going on, but what I did learn is that the sooner you introduce things to children, the more relaxed and the more they come to understand it. Mm-hmm. That's why I continue to do it. Now, this last protest we did not go to because we don't play with COVID at all. Prior to, my niece is on too. So prior to that, I took them because I wanted my baby knows what Black Lives Matter means. She understands like that. Mommy, I'm brown and I'm beautiful, and everybody that's brown is beautiful. Like that's because that's what we pour that into. Now her dad does this whole other thing that he is, but we do try to. I want them to see, and because of how Black Austin has happened, like I'm born and raised here. I've been here my whole life, and I've watched the migration from East Austin to Pflugerville. And I want my baby to know, like, we're here. Like, this is where you're born. This is who we are. Our family is here. Our roots are here. And feel comfortable with it. So that was one of the main reasons why I do it. I want her to understand it. I want her to see it. I want her to experience it. So as she grows, she understands, like, and her brother too, because Dylan, he's there. He doesn't care right now. But again, if we keep doing it, he gets it. He's just kind of like, okay, this is, and they're not scared. They're not crying. They're not screaming. Like, they see people that look like them, the same color. They're comfortable. They're relaxed in their element. So I think that's the main reason why I do it, is just to kind of get it into them now, because when they get older, they need to be able to stand for something too.
A couple of years ago when you went to the first Black Lives Matter protest and you took your niece, how old was she? Because you said you got her registered to vote.
She had just turned, she was getting ready to turn 18. Her birthday was in October. Her birthday's in October, so she was just getting ready to turn 18, and they were walking around, filling out the forms. So I registered her that day, because I was like, you're going to register to vote, learn about that.
Yeah, and how were those conversations with her and talking about Black women and, the importance of voting and things like that?
She understood it. And it was a conversation that she was like, well, nobody, because she was in high school, she was graduating. This was her senior year. So she was like, they don't talk about this kind of stuff at school. They talk about voting, but they don't tell you, how to register, where to go, who to vote for, why you're voting. That was an intense conversation because I wasn't even very well versed in it at the time. So I had grabbed someone else and was like, hey, can you kind of explain to us so that we can get it? So as she's gotten a little older, and as all of them have gotten older, I'm very more outspoken about, like, hey, this is what's going on. This is why we need to vote. Like, I just told my boyfriend yesterday, which was the last day to vote, right? Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? Yeah. I told him, I said, I don't know if you noticed, but back in 1955, 2 Black people got hung for registering people to vote. That's why you need to vote. That's how I do voting stuff with people. I'm like, if these people were killed just for registering people to vote, it's not going to kill you to get up and go vote.
Right.
And I make it a point to let them know, like, people, like, our ancestors and our people, they died for us to have this opportunity. Do not squander it, because y'all to be the first ones complaining when the bill go up or something don't happen. It's like, no. Hush. But you should have did what you were supposed to do, and then you would have had a voice. Right now, you just got to do whatever the masses say.
Yeah.
So,
I will say I am glad with, like, young people now. Like the young Black girl in California, like, she had put together the whole protest. I posted on my page. I think it was like San Francisco or something.
I read about that.
Started following her. Yeah. So I was just like thinking about when I was in high school. Like, I wasn't concerned about going to vote and all that stuff. Like, I wasn't involved.
I was just trying to get out of school.
Right. I was trying to get out of school and move on, and that was pretty much it. So when I see them now, I'm just like, dang, like, times have really changed. And even though there's so much craziness going on, it's really like, it makes me happy to see young people, especially young Black girls, really being involved in, like, activism and the voting and all that, because I'm like, y'all are doing so much better than I was doing at 16.
Light years ahead of me. I'm trying to tell you, it's so beautiful. It's like, and you see it, and they're so passionate about it. And it's like, to even have that kind of passion about something that's huge, because a lot of people are not passionate about much. So if you're 16, 17 and you don't find your passion, it's like, come on, baby. Like, yes, let's do this. Like, I think that's the most amazing thing. We can all take notes from them and even do more to make sure that we're doing our part into getting our people involved in this as well. So I hope one day Peyton ends up being one of those people. That's
right.
Come vote. Come with me. We're gonna do a voter drive. Like, I can see her being that kind of person. So you really do. And that's another reason why I really hope that people listen to the young people, because they're saying something. Not all. Nah, I ain't gonna say all of them, but a lot of them, they saying something.
We trying to get the other ones to join in. Yeah, like, come on, y'all. But anyway, but you're a writer, so with that, have you thought about writing a book?
That is so funny that you say that. Because I had this so the last blog, the last poem, the Dear Black Woman, is actually in collaboration with one of my very best friends. Her name is Shika Morrison, and you'll see her in there as well.
Okay.
And she is, to me, head and shoulders above me when it comes to writing. I mean, she has written some of the greatest poetry I have ever read in my life. And so I've been trying to get her set up to have a book of poetry and have it because it's so dope. I'm like, please put this into a book. And she told me that she's like, Kim, I got 30 poems that's ready to go. And I was like, but she's also been telling me you should write a book about your life. And I'm like, girl, nobody want to read about this crazy life. That's just people got their own problems to deal with. But so now I'm hearing it more.
Yes,
listen. When the universe speaks, I do listen.
There's people that have written books, and I look at the book all right, so yes, we need more Black women writers, and because it's just good stuff. We always got good stuff to say. We're creative people. We're muses for people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all been saying that for a while. I'll have to see, because writing a book is different from blogging. Blogging is just my thoughts, and writing a book, you got to have punctuation. And I do a lot of writing right now. I'm in African American Studies right now, and I do a lot of writing and reading right now. So, it's kind of knocking me over my head for the time being, but it's something to entertain. I mean, we'll have to see.
So, when it comes to Black girls or Black families, we're taught to you need to be able to make money when you get older.
Mm-hmm.
You need a job that's gonna be stable. We didn't really talk about you would be an amazing writer, or you should be an artist, because that don't make money. So, what would be your stance on young Black girls that want to be writers? They may not be interested in science or something. They are literally creative young girls, and this is what they want to do.
I will say this. This is what I've learned. I'm only 33, so I got a lot more living to do and a lot more learning. But from just what I've learned, I created a comfort space for me. I write and I blog because I don't worry about my bills being paid, because that's why I have tech. So
that's what I wanted you to say.
I'm not saying don't do it now. Hear me. Don't not do, because you have to find that balance. We all have that creativity in us. We do. I swear we do. And it's beautiful. My baby likes to dance. She loves dancing. She loves singing. That's her I don't know where she got it from, because it definitely ain't me, but that's her thing. But she'll also sit down and read a book from front to back, because she has also very good memorization. So one of the things that it is you do want to make your money, because your money is what's going to pay for your dream. Right. And some people, honestly, if you go out on a limb and say, you know what, I'm going to do my dream and ignore this, you could probably even fly higher as well. But my advice, you make sure you have your money to pay your bills and to support your dream. And then when you get to a point to where you've made it to where, you know what, hey, this is doing more than enough, then you can let the job go.
Yeah, that's what I wanted you to say, because I'm just I feel like there's more option now, just because there's more room for creativity and things like that. But before, it was just we're not talking about that. We need to college,
I'm not going to do that.
Get a job, make money. That wasn't an option. It was
and I feel like that's the issue that we have, though, because sometimes that makes the person feel like you don't believe in them. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to ever do that with my kid. I do want, we have savings accounts for them, and we had a big issue because we we debated if we wanted to put it into a 529 plan or wanted to put it in a 403b. Mm-hmm. Whatever we did, we wanted it to make money.
Right.
And the big thing that we started with was we do 529. They decide not to go to college. They don't get hit on the top of the head with taxes, trying to draw the money out. It's going to be a big litigation thing. Let's just put it in something so that if they decide they don't want to go to college, they want to backpack in Europe for a year, they got the cushion to do that. They get a head start. So I want to listen to them, and I want to support them in their dreams. But I also want to make sure that I'm going to tell them, hey, I believe in you. I know you can, but just be smart.
Yeah. Thank you. So because you are a writer, I would say, what Let's see. What would you say the title of your autobiography would be if you wrote about yourself?
Ooh, that's a good question. A tattoo that I have. She flies by her own wings.
Oh, that's a good title.
Now it's in Latin on me, but I think that would be the title.
Let's time date this. So what's today? 7/15/36. So we remembering this, everybody that's in here, that's the title.
That's gonna be the book title. That's gonna be the book title. She flies by her own wings. Because I will say, like, even being a 33-year-old college sophomore, junior, it's like my kids were a big motivation to me. My kids and my guy, because I want to make him proud too. I'm definitely one of those women where, like, when you stand beside me, I'm standing behind you. When you stand beside me, I want you to feel proud that you have me as the person that's standing beside you. So I do a lot for them because the love that they give me, like, you can't put a price on that. You can't replace that. And I want them to be able to feel comfortable. I want to make life easy for them. So, she does fly by her own wings. She does it when she's ready, not when they say.
We're going to start closing down. And at the end of each interview, I'm just going to ask each person, like, what notes would you leave to Black girls? What would your advice be, your tip? That's like, yes, I'm ready for this.
Yeah, Birdman hero. Black girls, not only are you beautiful, you're brilliant. Learn to do taxes. Learn why you vote. Put your money up. Stack your money. As soon as you get your first dollar, put 25 cents away and put 50 cents in a Roth savings account. Believe in yourself, regardless of what this world says. And above all, don't be ashamed of who you are, because you are greatness personified.
That was so good, girl. That was good. That was like, okay. I was like, what else you got for us?
That's gonna be in the She Flies by Her Own Wings, Volume 1.
So, do you have any projects, anything that you have coming up, any more writing that you're going to be doing currently?
So, since you've asked, because I can't stay still. So, my boo and I, we actually have created sugar scrubs. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I spend a ridiculous amount on body scrubs. I literally would order them because I love them. So one day we were sitting at home and he was like, I'm going to figure out how to make these because I need to be able to have something to do so we can have, that'll be my little get out of jail free ticket. So he made a sugar scrub, rubbed my feet, and I was like,
okay, he better, okay.
This feels good. Yeah, I was like, hold on. And the funny thing is, like, years ago, when my niece first went to college, I made her one, and she kept telling me, like, Amy, make me another scrub. I'm like, I forgot what I put in it. So we actually started making them again. I just got a potential first client yesterday, actually. This is the raw version. We haven't packaged anything yet. This is the lemon lavender. Has little bits of lemon in it. Lemon and lavender, actually. This is our grapefruit.
Oh, I love grapefruit.
Girl, this one is the bomb.com. And then this is like our lemon. So we have, we are going to actually start distributing these. We were going to do a little open house thing, but, COVID stopped it. But I was like, we ain't going to let that stop us from what we need to do.
Okay, yeah, let me know, because I will cash out you, like, let me get some of that grapefruit scrub.
Yes, Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes. I love you. I appreciate you.
I love you.
Amazing.
Thank you. You're amazing. Y'all, listen. If y'all know the Rose Project, it's everything. But if y'all know Yogi, Nina Rose, honey, I look forward to Saturday mornings, and I can't. This is the first time that I've stuck it out, and it's because you create the mood. Even though you're not even physically here, you still create the mood that is so necessary. Like, please tune in. Like, that is your gift. Please don't stop. Whatever you do, please don't stop, because that is so your gift.
Thank you so much. And actually, I just got my certificate, so I'm done with my classes, so I'm officially certified. Yes. Show y'all the proof. Yes.
Let's go.
So when we're able to get back together, then I can get young girls together and Black mothers and their daughters, and we can do yoga outside and stuff.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm ready to be around,
that good energy. Yes, we need it.
Yes, and these girls need it. I'm just like, that article just really had me in a place, just because I know what that is out there and just in the U.S. period, and I just like, and they have a reason to be angry. The same way like Black women have a reason to be angry. Like, you're an angry Black woman. I am.
So,
because
what's your point?
you know how long I've been angry and for what reasons. Like, so just trying to get to these Black girls and just let them know, like, you gotta give them. We just gotta teach you how to, normalize that and how to put action into your anger instead of the, I ain't gonna lie, I smacked couple people up in my days when I was younger.
You got to.
Wasn't the right way, but we all learn, and that's
how we learn.
Down to them, like, come here, girl, let me give you a hug, because all you need is some love. That's all it is.
You need some love, baby. Come on, your mama a hug. Come on,
right? But I appreciate you doing this for me.
Thank you for having me,
and thank everybody for watching tonight.
Yes, I see my squad out there. I love y'all.